Hello, my name is Sarah, and I'm with Off the Beaten Path Consulting. I am an HR fixer, so I fix problems with business strategy and HR that people and businesses don't have the capacity or the ability to fix themselves. And I am doing this particular episode a little bit different than I have done others. I decided to do a whole video. Uh, Almost 30 minutes. I don't know, it's going to end up being probably 25 minutes, all recorded from my phone. Now, the majority of those are TikToks because I am using a lot of content I used before. But the reason I'm doing it is to show you that creating content, creating even videos for this channel, television shows for this channel, does not have to be complicated. It can simply be as easy as recording from your phone and then adding a little flair at the end, right? So, this series is literally Sarah's thoughts. If you follow me on TikTok, you've seen all of these, at least I hope. But if you don't, you're going to hear a lot of Sarah's thoughts of the day. And a lot of them end with my mantra of do better, be better, go off the beaten path. And it gives a weird version of my 30-minute shows, just a little bit more choppy, but I think you'll find it fun because it is interesting to see the many faces of Sarah. I do apparently look different on some days. Hair up, hair down, glasses on, glasses off. I did not put any with hoodies on because apparently I do some videos with hoodies on and I shouldn't do that. Um, now, shouldn't is a bad term, but it makes me look like dingy in a video. And so I try not to do that. But you're going to see a lot of things. And I just want you to start considering all the options you have that make this easy, right? And the easiest thing we have is that phone that is sitting in our hand that we do all those things all day long with, right? You're on TikTok or you're on Facebook, or you're just checking email or texting family, right? The phone is always in our hands, so why not use it for our business? And this is one way to do that. So check out the videos, watch them. Like I said, I think it's about 25 minutes worth of content that you're going to get with all of this. You are going to see one buddy of mine, I think it's in the first video or the second. I have a lot of stuffed animals in my life, and I will show you the newest one just because I can. This is Otis. Say hello, Otis. Hello, Otis. Um, I am a fan of stuffed animals, especially when I travel, but sometimes they make a place in my videos also. Never be scared to show your personality. Be whimsical in the way that you are whimsical and show your personality to the world. As easy as I said, through your phone, through easy ways, and adding a little flair at the end. That being said, if you do need help to add that flair, definitely reach out through those QR codes. And if I can't help you, we will find somebody that can help you add that flair. And that's it. So I'll leave you with that. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path.
Emotional support can come from a variety of places, from family, friends, colleagues, coworkers, and even teddy bears. I just introduced you to Harry, who is my travel emotional support, and he sits on my desk every day also. But today I want you to think a little bit about how you are emotionally supporting yourself and where you get that support from. And if you aren't feeling supported in the circles you're in, create a new circle. Find people that are purposely there for you and are going to support you in your journey. Okay, sometimes you do have to take people out of your circle if they're making things hard, if they're bringing you down. Find that emotional support, and if not, build it yourself. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. Every time you interact with somebody, you are making an impression. Whether that's good or bad or indifferent, you are making an impression. So put your best self forward, I guess. But the reason I bring this up is because someone from a past job reached out to me, somebody I haven't thought of in a very long time, for some advice, for some perspective on something they're going through. And one of the people that they thought to reach out to was me. And I was like, that is interesting, right? I made an impression that I hadn't even realized I was. And that is a great thing, right? Be your best self, put your best foot forward, and people will notice. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. I had two conversations today about nonprofits. The first one was someone wanted to start a nonprofit. It was all from goodness in her heart, and she wanted to help homeless children in the city she lives in. But upon some research, we realized that there were quite a few nonprofits that were already doing the same thing. So instead of actually helping her start a nonprofit, which is what she was going to hire me to do, I actually advised her to not take my services and to volunteer for a little while. Figure out if there was a nonprofit that did the things she had her heart set on instead of starting a brand new one. And sometimes the best advice is to not use my services. And the second one was, don't claim you're going to donate to a nonprofit, especially if that nonprofit doesn't exist. You would think I wouldn't have to say that, but I do. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. You have to see the future to be a good leader. And now that does not mean crystal balls and magic. It means you're always planning for the future. You want to see next day, next week, next quarter, next year, and every decision that you're making. So if you are a leader who is not seeing that future, or you have a boss that never focuses on the future, that's a really big red flag. Think about where you are and where you want to be. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. You cannot manage someone else until you know how to manage yourself and are successful at it, at least to some degree. So if your schedule is a hot mess, if you're always missing meetings, if you are not getting things done, if you feel scattered, hiring someone isn't going to help that because you don't have a system yourself to share with them and to train them on and to have them help you with. So develop a system, get yourself on track, get yourself on a schedule, get yourself some task lists or however you want to be organized, and then hire someone to help you out. Get a coach or a consultant if you need help with that. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. When you have to balance your schedule, don't take off the things that you love. Take off the things that don't matter. Do you really need to catch up on laundry? Probably not. You have enough underwear for the rest of the week. Do you really need to do the dishes, or can they just wait till tomorrow? Now, I mean, you do have to feed the kids. You do have to do other things, but start thinking about the things you get to do, the things that you want to do. And by this is, the last couple of days, I decided to paint. I did a few cute little paintings in conjunction with some other things that I'm working on, and it makes me happy. They took me 20 minutes a piece, but it made me happy. I did something that I wanted to do instead of all the things that I have to do. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. A flexible work environment does not mean you just get to disappear during the day or not tell your boss when you're working or just work whenever you want. A flexible work environment means you communicate with your boss or with your company to come up with a great schedule that works for both of you, and making sure that everything gets to get done and you have a family work-life balance type concept that everyone is happy with. But that means you have to communicate. In fact, it means you have to communicate more. And I know from experience, because I've been working from home or a few years of hybrid for about 15 years. Communication is the key if you want to keep this up. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. I took a nap today. That's it. And if you can, you should too. Take a minute, even if you can't take a full nap. Go close your eyes in the car. Go into the break room and close your eyes for a few moments. Get away, take care of yourself, and if you can, take a nap. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. A good leader models the type of behavior they want to see in their team. So if you are a leader who is always showing up late, who is taking long lunches, who never has time for your staff, who never listens to other people's opinions, you're building a team that's going to do those things also, because if they see you doing them, it must be the right thing to do, at least the right thing to do in that organization. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. You do not have to give a 2-week notice. The bare minimum of the reason why they want a 2-week notice is for a transition period of information, and maybe there's an internal policy that says you can't be hired back later on. But if you're not worried about being hired back, you don't have to give a 2-week notice. There's no law that says you have to. And if your HR says there is, it's an internal policy only. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. A shoestring budget to start a company is perfectly fine. There's a reason that pull yourself up by your bootstraps is a thing that we say. You don't need a ton of money to start a business. You need a passion and you need time. And the money will happen, and then you can grow your marketing. You can grow faster. But you can start with just a small amount of money. Starting a business is actually very inexpensive. But don't let other people tell you you have to have thousands of dollars to start. You don't. Start with passion, start with a goal, start with making sure you have time, and allow everyone else to see your success in the way that you want them to see it. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. My boss is going to get mad at me if I ask too many questions. Well, if they do, they're not a very good leader. A leader should welcome questions and welcome opportunities for more training, because if their staff is not getting it, it's their fault, not yours for asking a question. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. Do you feel like you keep getting the same questions over and over and over? A lot of us do, especially in the HR world. And so what I suggest is creating a Google Doc or a hidden page on the company website that you can link to in your signature line. Create that frequently asked questions list and encourage everyone to look there first. That way you're not answering the same questions about health insurance and PTO and all of those questions that people ask on a day-to-day basis that they could very easily get for themselves. Create that link and save yourself some time. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. Your branding should be the same no matter what platform I'm looking at for your business. And I didn't think I would really have to say this, but I actually encountered someone today that had different colors on Facebook than they did on Instagram, than they even did on LinkedIn, let alone different fonts. Now, their little logo was the same, but when I'm looking for a company, I'm looking for all similar things. I want to be able to find you across any platform, and to do that is to have the branding colors, the branding fonts, and keeping those similar, if not the same, across all platforms. Just a piece of advice if you want people to follow you and find you easily. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. It is okay to give people the tools they need to do their job. Trust me, it is okay, especially if they ask for it. I had someone ask me once if he could have a reader to have things be read out loud to him because he's an auditory learner, and a lot of his job was reading things to get the information. And I never had anybody ask me for that. I was like, I don't even know what to give you. And he was like, he literally laughed. He's like, I know what I need, and it's like $20 a month. I said, will you send it to me? I will get it paid for, and that is an easy thing to do. And it actually sparked another person on the team to need that also. They didn't know they needed it. And it was so fulfilling to give people a better tool for their job. They weren't reading things in the evenings or on the weekends just to compensate for something that could be easily solved. Give people the tools they need for their job prior to them asking, but especially if they ask. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path.
So I woke up today knowing I had a networking event on my calendar. And disregard the hair because it's all rainy and goopy outside. But I woke up knowing that, and I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to deal with humans. I have too much to do. But it was actually really good, and I'm glad that I went out, and I'm glad that I was able to connect with some people who are really cool and might actually need my services, and I might actually need theirs. So if you have a chance today, or this week, or this month, go out and network. Can't hurt.
I am just reminding you that being flexible and being adaptable does not mean you have to let people walk all over you. Food for thought, and no judging today's hair. Just because you don't have a toxic work environment doesn't mean you are a positive work environment. There's always room for improvement, and trust me, your employees would say that. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. I just had someone email me and tell me I am a rare breed simply because I communicated that I was going to have to miss a meeting. And that is amazing to me that the world has come to this point where me communicating that I'm going to miss a meeting is a rare breed concept. Communicate, people. Either follow through or communicate if you can't. It's that simple. And it gets frustrating because so many people do it to me. They grab time on my calendar and then they just don't show up. Or they say they're going to do something for me and they don't. And it's very, very frustrating. And so I try to do the opposite. And I hope you can too. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. God helps those who help themselves. And this isn't about religion. And no matter what God you do or don't believe in, you can apply this to your life because it is about moving in the right direction. If you're making positive decisions in positive ways and doing the things it takes to be successful in life or work or just anything that you're doing, if you're doing it in a positive manner, positivity will come back to you. And I do believe that the world moves in mysterious ways and we don't know what they are. However, the better you are, doing better, being better, staying positive, doing good things, and being with the right mentality will make you successful. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. Sometimes you have to do a job or two that you hate in order to make ends meet and get through everything now. Yup, you do. You may not want to hear it, but sometimes you have to do a job you hate to make ends meet. That's it. Thoughts of the day. Keep your word, keep your commitments, keep your promises. It's all the same, especially in the business world. Now, it's just as important in the personal world, don't get me wrong. But in the business world, your word, your promises, your commitment is your reputation. And I was just chatting with somebody who feels like they're working with teenagers because they're trying to wrangle adults into doing what they said they were going to do and follow through with their commitment. And that is absolutely ridiculous. And if I could, I would call all those people out, but I won't. Instead, I'll say, do better, be better, go off the beaten path. I absolutely hate conflict, but I love debating. And to me, the difference is one is people are listening to talk and the other is people are listening to learn. And when you're debating, you're listening to learn. You want to see the other person's perspective, and then you want to formulate a perspective based on that. Now, that could be wrong if you're like doing debate as a career path in college or whatever, you take one of those classes. But that's how I feel. I want to learn from you and then reform my opinion based on what I've learned from you. And I think if we take that time to listen and learn and debate about a subject versus automatically getting angry with conflict, we could all do better, be better, and go off the beaten path. Don't let someone take advantage of you. I just got off the phone with somebody who was told, well, you're a coach and I can't afford your services, so you should lower your pricing. No, you wouldn't go to your electric company and say, lower the pricing. You wouldn't go to, the grocery store and be like, I can't afford that, give it to me for half off. It's not how the world works. Set your pricing and the right people will be there and want your services. It's as simple as that. Don't let someone else determine your value. Don't let someone else take advantage of you. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. Never stop learning. It's one of my mantras. In fact, I am still in school and I'm 46. I'm getting my doctorate in organizational leadership, which is super exciting. So you can call me doctor here in a year and a half or two. But you don't have to go to this extreme. When I say never stop learning, that means taking free classes on LinkedIn, taking a cheap class on, I never say it right, Udemy or, one of those other Coursera's. Take any opportunity you have to learn and follow your passions and learn about those too. Do you want to take a minute to learn how to crochet? There's YouTube channels, but never stop learning. Make sure that you are bettering yourself every single day. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. I am having conversations with a company that is scrambling because they fired their HR person because they thought it would be easy to handle everything that person did, and to save approximately $80,000 a year on that person. But now they're scrambling and they're looking for fractional HR support, which is part-time support, not a full-time employee. Now, they probably can get away with part-time, but they can't get away with no HR support. Remember, HR does more than just hiring and firing. They deal with compliance and taxes and planning and safety and so many things that you don't realize they're doing in the background until you let them go. Then you realize it, right? Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. Be authentically you. Every time you see me, whether my hair is perfect or a hot mess or I have makeup or I don't, I'm not trying to pretend somebody is different than what you're seeing. And also with my personality. The person you see here that's animated and crazy and sometimes a little too loud is the same person that you're going to get if you work with me or if you're friends with me or any capacity, seeing me in the grocery store even. I'm the same person. If you are authentically you, people will connect and people will want to be around your energy. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path. A strong team culture is built on respect from both sides. So that is leadership to staff, a department to department. It's both sides have to have respect for the other one. Team members to clients, clients to team members. It all matters. Both sides have to have respect, and if it's not there, the culture will never grow and the business will not succeed. Do better, be better, go off the beaten path.
I want to wrap this up with a kudos to the Creative Spirit channel overall. The idea is amazing for this channel, and the two owners are truly invested in making this a success. And the team of people that are behind the scenes doing everything, is truly amazing. Just today, there were so many conversations about content and fun creations and making sure that the vendors and the viewers and everyone involved is not only getting good quality content, but is having fun while they do it. And that's kind of the goal of this channel is to show people that they can have their creative side and their business side and make it all happen with fun, flair, um, and hopefully, benefit themselves a little bit financially at the same time. So I appreciate you watching. I appreciate everybody behind the scenes that allows me to do this. And I hope that you take the time, if you're watching this and you're not already on the channel and you are a crafter, take the time to investigate to see if this is something that you could participate in, something that would benefit your business and you personally. And additionally, if you know someone that supports crafters, supports entrepreneurs, have them reach out also. There are advertising opportunities as well as those TV show opportunities for our crafters. And if you have any questions, there are uh, a million ways to get a hold of us, but the QR codes are the easiest way to find the information and to get a hold of somebody to get you an answer. We would love to have you involved, and I look forward to seeing you in the future and to see you watch my shows, obviously, but also to watch everyone's shows on here. And if you don't know it, we actually have cartoons. They are kind of short and some things now, but we have a whole team that is working on cartoons behind the scenes for adults and children. Now, all of them will be for children. I'm saying the adult ones might be a little boring for kids, but we're also looking at some child content also, some content for children. So look for some fun options in the future and keep following us on Roku, on Fire TV, and on our website. That QR code will take you there. And we may even be on other options soon. So look for all of that too. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to seeing you again. Don't forget to do better, be better, and go off the beaten path.
Hello, I'm Sarah, and I'm with Off the Beaten Path Consulting. I'm an HR fixer, so I fix HR problems for businesses and individuals that they don't have the capacity or the ability to fix themselves. So we are heading into fall now, and as we know, that brings kids back to school and football and apples and all of the fun things. And we're getting ready for some holidays too. But in the meantime, we have a lot of amazing shows to watch as you start cuddling on the couch and the temperatures get a little cooler. So watch everything you can here on the Creative Spirit channel, but most of all, check out my show, which is HR Navigating the Chaos. I answer all of those HR questions that you have, and you might be afraid to ask the people that you work with or your colleagues. Check out my show, but also check out my QR code, which is up in the corner if you want to have a one-on-one to talk about your specific needs more in depth. Thank you and have a wonderful fall.